Hello. Oh, how am I smiling after that? Welcome to the chat. How are we doing? I hope we're not doing too bad. But I can understand if you are. Welcome to the chat. We are obviously talking about the show that was on display. That we just had to watch. The awful show. Not good to say the least. Where do I even start? We got the banter in the chat, and to be expected. Big ups for tuning in, but I'm just thinking where I start on this, because a part of me can't believe it, but then a part of me can as well, because of performances as of late. Streaming, disgusting the clowns. If Pep walks, don't be surprised. Well, I'll start from the top. Edison 5.5. Look, up until the 86th minute, I thought everyone did okay. Up until the 86th minute. No one was fantastic. No one was mind-boggling good. But everyone was okay, including Edison. Okay, Edison on the penalty, I sympathise with him. Okay, there's nothing he can do. Look, Edison, of course I'd love him to save the penalty, but that's not on him. I think what he's doing on the Ahmad thing is weird. He's never going to win that ball on Ahmad. I think that ball is really good by Lissandro Martinez. I think Vardio needs to stay tighter to that space. The ball then was great. Edison needs to be more careful. That's twice he's gotten done in a similar fashion now, by the way. That's twice he's been rounded. That's twice we've seen that from Eddie. I appreciate everything Edison's done for the club and all that, but Edison, that is a mistake from Eddie. He's misjudged it. There's no way he's beating Ahmad, who he's had 90 minutes to watch to that ball. Ahmad, from start to finish of that game, was absolutely rapid. From start to finish, he was like absolutely everywhere in terms of down that right-hand side. I thought we'd get a lovely, lovely win today. No. You can't play like that 45 minutes. You can't. Second half, it's safe to say we were just cowardly. We didn't do anything in the second half. I'm trying to think of a solid chance. Okay, I'm talking about a chance that was like, oh, but there was none. Phil Foden, he had a couple moments, but nothing unreal from him. On another day, maybe if he's got his confidence, he can bury those. But it was his first game back, and I don't think he was awful today. I don't think he was himself. He's still back passing and all that. But when you're ahead, United came out a bit better in the second half. There's no doubting that. Like most teams tend to do when they play us, shouldn't be a surprise. But I don't feel like they were fantastic. I don't feel like United. I don't feel like I was 20 minutes into that second half and I was like, oh, we're really holding on here. But no, I don't. I really don't. People telling me to get hyped over Nunes mid-table gross. Look, I sympathise with Nunes in areas today. Look, he had to do a very difficult job of being a midfielder at left back for anyone to take on that responsibility. It's not easy. And Nunes decided that it was him. Well, I mean, yeah, he didn't decide it. Someone else did, probably. Pep probably did. But he still took it on his shoulders. He still got on with it. And again, for 86 minutes, I thought he did okay. We saw this against Sporting. We saw it in another game. And I really appreciate Matheus Nunes, okay, wanting to get the ball back after a mistake. I really do. I appreciate that. It shows like a passion, almost a level of wanting to take responsibility, wanting to make up for your error. I get it. I totally do. Okay, we've all been in that kind of situation where you make a mistake and you just want to make up for it as quick as you can. But he goes into that challenge stupidly. It's a stone wall, and he knows it. The moment he makes that challenge, his head's in his hands. He knows he's messed up. He's absolutely nowhere near the ball. And it was also silly. Ederson was in a good spot because he had Diaz behind him. We were getting players back. Ederson and Diaz were stalling him. But I think Ahmad knew Nunes was on the way. And so I don't think Ahmad stressed too hard. Nunes just went in like a train and took him out. And we paid the price for it. We cost a penalty. I respect that he took on a job that in normal circumstances he wishes he didn't have to do. But at the end of the day, I have to criticise him because he was there. And he effectively cost us the game because after that penalty, everyone's heads dropped for some reason, We all drop our heads and we don't know how to react. We go on to lose the ball over the top, goal. When we gave away the ball to Lissandro Martinez, no one pressed him to get the ball. They gave Martinez all the time in the world to calculate that ball. Vardiol gave Ahmad all the space in behind that he could have ever wanted. There was just no energy after United got their goal. All the people saying the dressing room is gone. They're damn right. It just seems like we can't. There was a period of time a few seasons ago. I can't remember when, but there was a period of time when we were a little bit like this. Of course, we haven't been like this in a very long time. But there's a period of time not super long ago where when a goal would go in, it just felt like it was going to happen. It just felt like it was going to happen. Sporting, Brighton, Feyenoord, Man United. Those four just off the top of my head. If anyone can jog my memory on other games that we've been winning and we proceeded to lose on, feel free to. Start Bernardo going to a midfield, you don't win. Look, whether our midfield options weren't great or not, it doesn't matter now. You should have. We need. Why is Nico Riley in the club if he's not going to get a blinking minute? Why is he here? Wouldn't it be better in the Championship, getting some real experience on loan rather than rotting as a bench warmer? Why is McAtee on? I know McAtee is more of a right winger, attacker midfielder. Well, why is he here if you're not gonna? If you're the most you'll play him at the end of a 3-0 or in a cup game? Why is he here? You know. Look, I understand why. I understand why COVID didn't start because he's only just back from a decently long injury. I get it. I do. I get that. I was hoping he'd start today, but he couldn't. I'm not going to sit here and say rush him back so he gets injured again. But you've got to be more responsible as City players. Ahmed is amazing. 14 minutes in, Spurs 3-0. Really? Blinking heck. Oh my lord. Jesus. Finally we started that quick. Something giant needs to change. Everyone today too blinking comfortable, and it's disgraceful. Second half, we looked too scared to go at United. United, just like us, were to be got at today, and we took the lead. We had them right where we wanted them going into half time. We got a goal relatively late into the first half, and we had them. Okay, we went into half time looking not amazing, but we weren't looking bad. Okay, United hadn't exactly played brilliant. We'd managed to get Ahmed offside a few times. Ahmed, who was easily the biggest threat on the pitch today, we managed to make sure that he didn't get anything big. Second half, though, we just looked content with 1-0. We didn't look like we wanted to risk it. I think that's the thing. It wasn't that we were content with 1-0. It just felt like we were too scared to risk our 1-0. I feel. I feel that is the case here. We just look scared to lose what we had. But that's not the team that we know. That's not the team we've known. Whether it's a Hull Academy 11 against Villa, I don't care. I don't even know what team I want to see against Villa. I don't. I want to see Ortega in net. I don't want to see Nunes starting at left back. I don't want to see Doku off the left again. This team is done, dead, buried. No one tells me otherwise. Huge changes need happening. Go back to the rebuild thing I did. We had about 8 players leaving, 8-ish. I wish this was the end of the season and the summer was here now. I wish January was the summer. That's my honest thoughts. I wish that January was like the summer transfer window and we could do all the business that we want. But we aren't like that. And I don't know what Pep thinks is going to happen when he gets... Who's he missing now? Ake Akanji? He's missing Ake and Akanji. And Rodri and Bob too. But is that all you're gonna is that all we need to get the season back on track? Is that literally it? Welcome to the chat, JTS. Big ups for giving me more views. I knew if we concede 1, we concede 2. It's funny that you mentioned that this is City because when Anthony came on, I thought in my head about the 22-23 season. And I thought about the Old Trafford game, when we conceded 1, dodgy goal or not, we conceded. And then we went on to concede again about 5 minutes later. I don't know why, but that played in my head. And I was like... that sucked. Hopefully that doesn't happen again in my head. Goes on and happens again. By the way, I said I wouldn't reveal my prediction before today. My prediction was 0-0. I didn't get it right, but I thought this would be a dead game. I'm not going to lie. Those are my honest thoughts. I just didn't want to say it out loud. This was something. I saw Sky Sports put this on screen. Manchester United had not won a Big Six game in 3.5 years. And yeah, I remember seeing that. I think it was like the last 15 games, 4 draws, 11 losses. I remember seeing that, and I literally said out loud, "Oh, you just had to show that now." I remember seeing. I remember back to Old Trafford game where we lost 2-1. I don't know why I'm drawing comparisons to that. But back to that game, I remember seeing a different stat where it was like Man United or Man City when going 1-0 up / 1-0 down, and United had like won one of them, and then they went on to win that game. Start negotiating now, Tiki. It'll get the heck out. We need signings. It can't just be Bruno Guimaraes as well. We need something else. I feel so bad for Claudio Echeverri. I actually wish he wasn't joining us till the summer, because it's such a bad environment to come into right now. I watched Bernardo's after match interview, and he says they're not happy right now, and obviously they're not going to be. But I would have wanted Claudio Echeverri to come into the team when we're on a good run, we're playing well. That's what I wanted Claudio Echeverri to walk into. That's what other players have had the privilege to walk into on the few January signings we make. But what does he have to walk into instead? The worst form we've been in I don't even know how many years. 1 win in 11. Come Villa Park, who knows what it will look like. We need signings now. Jan 1st. If you don't want to, leave and let Viana do it. I'd love that to be the case, but I don't think that happens, sadly. I want that to happen. I want signings. I want signings just as much as the next guy. I want to see Bruno Guimaraes holding up the shirt. I want to see whoever else you've got on your list, City. I want to see signings. I want to see additions to the squad. January transfer window isn't something to be frowned upon. It's there for a reason. Do some work in it, even if you just make 2 signings. And I think we need more than that. But make 2 signings. I don't know. Winning the league, I feel, is essentially out of the question. We're 9 points behind Liverpool, and Liverpool win their game in hand, which is against Everton, by the way. We are 12 points behind. If Chelsea win tonight, we're 9 points behind them, or something like that. The gap furthers not just from first, but from second, and it's only going to get wider. We're not even top 4. We're 5th. Pepper Tiki, it's all their fault. Absolute rubbish. I was crying out for summer signing. I know. I remember. Oh, what's that one City channel called? I can't. Mancunian Way. I remember Mancunian Way coming in. I'm not dissing him. I'm not calling him a liar or anything. But I remember Mancunian Way coming into the chat one day, and he said don't worry about signings in the summer. We're going to make, I think he said roughly about 5 signings. Said something about right back. I remember that. Something about winger. Something about other positions too, and that sounded good. Because that sounded like something we needed. I was saying in the summer, if we don't get into any more business before the beginning of August, then we've really got to be questioning, because before the beginning of August, by the way, Savinho was the only addition we had, and we all knew that we needed more than that. We all knew Rodri needed proper cover. The blame is on the board for why Rodri's got his injury, because Pep said, by the way, I think in an interview some point in the week, why is Rodri injured and all that? It's because he has to play 70 games a season. He doesn't get a big break. He wasn't quite ready for Arsenal versus Inter, but I had to play him. If you wouldn't have to have played him, you wouldn't have had to have played Rodri if you had a player like Bruno Guimaraes. Okay, because Bruno Guimaraes for me is someone I want to play alongside Rodri, but he looks like the kind of player I can trust to take the reins off Rodri if Rodri needs a break, if Rodri can't play for the next couple of games. But we essentially had to play an injured Rodri against Arsenal and Inter, which ended his season, in effect. Ake will be back for 1 game and he'll break again. Sounds about right. 1 win in 12 next week. Villa 5-0. There'll be too much. Villa need another team in need of a win. We'll hand it to him. Absolutely embarrassing that Pep Guardiola has no answers to this. He does the same thing every week. I know. Today, the most different thing he did today was sticking Nunes at left back. That's because he had to. And Gundogan didn't pop up, and we would have had no one. I know. I want to know what this would have looked like with no Gundogan. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, I did. I actually got to watch that because my stream hadn't started. I actually watched that, and he started calling it out. He called it all out essentially. He said that the blame is on ourselves. He said so many things, and I was like, man, he's really going into it here. And fair play. Look, I like Bernardo. I've always liked Bernardo. Okay, of course, as of late, he's not been the same player, but I'm glad that this guy's the guy that's speaking most in after match interviews at the moment. I don't know where Kyle Walker is. I'm sure when we next get a win, Kyle Walker will be the guy that does it, though. I bet you. And look, he gets it right for what I heard. There was nothing he said where I was like, what? You know? I want O'Reilly McAtee, you're starting or fourth of the game. Like, why are these players here? Like, Wright, I get it a bit because he's still like playing a bit in the academy, I'm pretty sure. Wright, I get it a little bit. But O'Reilly was a promising talent in the preseason, up there with Oscar Bob in terms of how well he was in preseason. Played all right against United in the Community Shield as well. Has played cup games since. Why aren't we trusting the players we are deciding to keep? O'Reilly could have left the club in the summer, and he could have gotten some valuable championship experience if he wasn't going to play. Okay, and I think City fans would have been content with that. And keeping him, hearing Pep say that he can cover for Rodri if needed, was like a real step for me. That's Pep trusting an academy player. That's Pep trusting an academy player to do the business. O'Reilly hasn't played. McAtee gets 15 minutes at the end of an easy game in the Champions League where we're 3-0 up and gets a cup game. McAtee is good enough to start in the Premier League for probably lower league teams. Walker needs to retire for his own mental health, seriously, his own health. Wright was amazing at Spurs away. I know Wright was one of the standouts. We had a lot of academy players playing against Spurs. We started the game shaky, of course we did. We were 2-0 down in how long? We were 2-0 down quite quickly in that game. But after the 2-0, we managed to find our feet, got ourselves a goal before half time, and in the second half we got really unlucky. O'Reilly had a goal cleared off the line. Yeah. Main team lost 4-0 at home and 2-1 loss, and Academy lost 2-1 away. Give them a go. Because do you know why? Our Academy is at the bare minimum, it seems, able to play for lower league Premier League teams and higher up Championship teams. That's becoming evident. Look at Romeo Lavia. Went to Southampton, cooked there, now plays for Chelsea. Cole Palmer, obvious absolute gem in our academy, leaves the club, plays for Chelsea, and is the best winger in the league, arguably up there with Mo Salah this season and last season. That's just off the top of my head. We have more. Pedro Porro had a little bit of time in our academy. I know we signed him in, okay, but now he starts for Spurs and celebrates against us. Our academy is clearly class. Trust them. Give them just an ounce, just a game. If we get smacked up by Villa, at least you can say you tried something different. Anyway, I'm going to burst through these player ratings. Edison, oh wait, where did I get up to? I'll just go from the top. Edison 5.5 on the goal. I don't know what he's doing. He needs to watch it more carefully. He's been done like that twice now. He needs to watch it much more carefully. Walker 6. I thought he was okay. He technically has a part to play in the penalty conceded because he passed it to Nunes, which then Nunes passes it back. It's a weak pass, and one thing leads to another. Walker should probably play forward there. Other than that, I thought it was okay. Everyone's heads dropped from the 86th minute onwards, though. So, if we're going to go at people for that, then yeah, Morca's head did drop. Diaz 6.5. Yeah, I thought he did decent defending today. Had that small thing where he could have conceded a penalty, but for me it wasn't. Thought he was fine today. Diaz thought he did a good job. Vardio, man of the match, gets the goal, which had us ahead for most of the game. At least someone got their head in there. I was pretty happy with Josko. Nunes 5, conceded the penalty. He's doing a job at left back that normally he wouldn't do, and well, in his case, he'll hope to never do it again not because he was awful. Before that penalty, I'd give him a 6, but simply because it's not his area. It's almost unfair that he has to do it, but sometimes that's what life can be, and subsequently that's what football can be. Gundo 6.5. Thought he was decent pushing forward, to be honest. Thought he had some good moments of good pressing and good interceptions, but look, he's not Rodri. He can't quite do what Rodri does. There were a couple of nearly moments for him today. He's clearly having to adjust to a role that he doesn't normally have to fill. Bernardo 6. He's all right. Nice interview. Didn't really contribute in any other way. Foden 6 had some sparks of what he can do, and hopefully he doesn't pick up any more illnesses or injuries, and he could just focus on getting himself back up. De Bruyne 7, mainly for the great ball into the box. Other than that ball into the box, though, he didn't really do too much, being honest. I can't really remember much more he did. Can't remember if he made any other big chances, but the one chance he did make, even if it takes a lucky nick on the way through, it's a good goal, a good assist. Doku 5, can't really remember anything that went right for him today. Kept losing the ball. He almost had some nearly moments, produced some lovely skills at one point, but ultimately he lost the ball a lot. Haaland 6, didn't get any service, had that one shot that got blocked. Subs all 6, they came on, did nothing. What we got here? If Pep continues to do the same rubbish, can you blame me if I start to get very pushed and getting sick of him? Something needs to change. Look, since October 30th, we've lost 8 matches. In our last 5 games, we've lost 3. The form doesn't get any prettier. And look, we've lost out of our last. And in our last 4 home games, we've won 1, FYI. 2 losses, 1 draw, 1 win. They're going to ruin our Boxing Day against Everton, aren't they? I really hope not. But that does conclude my player ratings. Just bottle jobs. Everyone put their heads down after that. Where's the team that used to, even after we conceded, we'd hold on? I remember in treble season, we conceded a late goal to Leeds. We were winning 2-0. It was 2-1. From that point onwards, we held on, got the win. Where are those days? Where are the days where where are the days from last season when we conceded a late goal to Sheffield United away from home, and then we go and get a goal against a team that was sitting back at that point? Some big changes need happening. And they can only be started in January, and they need to finish off in the summer. January hopefully can salvage something out of this season, just something, a little bit, just a little something out of the season. Hopefully January can bring some sort of joy. Hopefully, maybe I'm wishing too much. I don't know what to say, but thank you all for tuning in. I'm back tomorrow on Connect Gaming. The career mode's back. Hopefully my football's a bit better than this. Hopefully we can get a bit of silverware there too. We've got a huge stream incoming. And I'll try and get something out on MCFC Connect too. I'll cook up some sort of stream. Big ups to you all. The team should honestly look. If we still, I don't even know. How do you punish this team? It's not like the international break is coming up soon. I'd say any player that isn't on international break, no holiday for you. But that's not for a while now. Big ups to you all. Hopefully next week more joy. And yeah, you'll be seeing me tomorrow at the very minimum. Bye-bye.